If studying feels like fighting a constant current, if you have highlighted an entire textbook only to feel your brain leak the information the second you close the cover, I need you to hear this. You are not the problem. You've just been using the wrong map. We've all been there, feeling guilty for procrastinating, stressing out because we can't focus in a noisy library, or wondering why the perfect study technique everyone raves about just feels tedious for us. The truth is, the advice you got from school, from friends, even from most generic self-help videos, was a one-size-fits-all shoe that never fit your unique foot. Today, we are throwing away the generic study calendar and building a personalized, science-backed blueprint for your mind. We are going to adapt the best cognitive tools to your actual personality, whether you're an anxious overthinker, a natural-born procrastinator, or a deeply quiet reflector. Let's finally make studying work for you. Let's get the biggest lie out of the way first. You've probably heard of learning styles: visual, auditory, kinesthetic, right? The idea that if you're a visual learner, you need diagrams, and if you're auditory, you need to listen to lectures. Here's the surprising fact. This idea, which is believed by nearly 90% of educators globally, is a myth. Decades of extensive research and meta-analyses have found zero evidence that matching your teaching method to your supposed style improves your learning or retention. It's liberating. You don't have to worry about whether the professor is teaching to your specific modality. Because when you label yourself, say, an auditory learner, you risk limiting yourself. Maybe skipping over a great subject like design or writing because you think, that's not for me. The science tells us, forget the style of input. Focus on the process of output. Now for the good news. There are 3 universally effective tools proven to work for every human brain. We are not replacing them. We are customizing how we use them. 1. Active recall. Stop rereading. Passive rereading is just confirmation bias. It feels good, but it tricks you into thinking you know the material. Active recall means forcing your brain to retrieve the information. Think self-quizzing, summarizing out loud, or the blurting technique, writing down absolutely everything you remember about a topic without looking at your notes. This struggle is what strengthens the memory. 2. Spaced repetition. Your brain is designed to forget. We hack the forgetting curve by reviewing information at increasing intervals. Maybe 1 day, 3 days, 1 week, 1 month. It beats cramming every single time. 3. Elaboration. This is about depth. It means asking why. Or how does this connect? It's linking new concepts to things you already know, turning information into knowledge. But if these are so effective, why do we fail to stick to them? Because the problem is in the execution, and that is where your unique personality comes in. Let's talk about the anxious achiever. If you score high in neuroticism, you deal with worry, stress, and anxiety. Here is a crucial insight. When you are stressed about an upcoming test or worried about being smart enough, that anxiety is literally stealing your mental resources. It functions as an extra invisible burden on your working memory, the tiny part of your brain that processes information. Your brain is using all its processing power to worry, so it has nothing left for the complex task of active recall or elaboration. This is why high anxiety is negatively related to effective study techniques. Your adaptation, psychological defense first. Your first study strategy must be self-regulation. You must protect your brain from itself. Effective strategies integrate mandatory self-care. Prioritize sleep, exercise, and hydration because they stabilize the environment your brain functions in. Practice deep breathing or mindfulness for just 5 minutes before you study to clear out the intrusive thoughts. Normalize testing. You have to do low-stakes practice tests regularly. Exposure to the testing environment is the best way to reduce performance anxiety and increase your confidence when it matters most. And please, stop the catastrophic thinking. Remind yourself, this is only one test, or I don't have to be perfect. Next up is the procrastinator. You know you should be studying, You want to be studying, but you just can't start. You are not lazy. You are struggling against friction. Conscientiousness is the strongest predictor of grades. But if you score low, you prefer spontaneity and tend to struggle with long-term schedules. Trying to use willpower alone to enforce a strict schedule will fail. Your adaptation, external structures over willpower. You need to replace internal discipline with concrete, external systems. Atomic goals. Replace vague, intimidating tasks with highly specific, measurable ones. Don't write study history. Write complete 3 practice questions and summarize one concept in 30 minutes. You need the satisfaction of ticking boxes to keep momentum. The power of 4. Your working memory can only hold about 4 chunks of information at a time. Trying to tackle a 500-page book in one go overloads that tiny capacity and causes your brain to shut down, which feels like procrastination. You must chunk the material first, reduce long definitions into key phrases, or summarize a long paragraph in less than 10 words, making the material small enough to process. Next one is social versus the solitary, which means extroversion versus introversion. This is about finding your energy. Do you recharge by being alone or by being with people? If you are an introvert, group work and quick classroom responses can feel deeply frustrating. You need time and space to draw upon complex associations stored in your long-term memory to truly formulate ideas. Forcing yourself into a loud group session will often make you mentally check out and decide to teach yourself the content later in quiet solitude. Your adaptation, solitude, is productive. Prioritize reflection. Your active recall should be primarily solo, creating detailed written summaries, drawing elaborate concept maps, or utilizing the Feynman technique independently. Use groups strategically. Only use study groups to ask clarifying questions and gather feedback. Then immediately retreat for dedicated, quiet time to integrate the content. Guard your processing time fiercely. If you are an extrovert, you get energized by external interaction and discussion. You might find long, silent periods of study draining. Your adaptation. Make noise, make progress. Retrieval is teaching. Channel that energy into structured retrieval practice. Organize study sessions where the primary goal is explaining concepts to your peers. The active teaching is one of the most powerful forms of active recall. Active environment. If sitting still for too long drains you, try incorporating movement strategies while reviewing, stand, pace, or even fidget with a stress ball. Just make sure the activity leads to deep processing, not distraction. Next one is the abstract versus the practical thinker. Your score on openness to experience determines your preference for abstract ideas versus concrete facts. The abstract thinker, you love novelty, intellectual depth, and asking big, theoretical questions. You naturally excel at deep learning, but you might get bored by repetition. Your adaptation, maximize synthesis, the why and the what if. Focus your active recall on high-level synthesis, linking theories across chapters or disciplines. Use elaborative interrogation by asking what would happen if this variable changed, or why does this rule govern that equation? The practical thinker. You prefer concrete facts, proven procedures, and practical applications. Abstract theory can feel frustrating and pointless. Your adaptation, frame learning in utility, a real-world link. You still need to elaborate, but frame it in practical terms. How is this knowledge used in the job market? Or why is this specific procedure the most efficient way to achieve X result? By connecting the information to its real-world utility, you fuel your intrinsic motivation. Look, if you've been forcing yourself to study the right way, the rigid, one-size-fits-all way, and you still felt like a failure, you are not alone. This is a universal human experience. The key to mastery is not a secret trick. It's the metacognitive shift, the ability to look at your own personality, understand your unique psychological needs, and adapt the universal science of learning to fit you. Your brain is powerful. Now you know its operating instructions. So, here's my challenge for you. Go back over these 4 blueprints. Which one felt most like an aha moment for you? Which is your biggest barrier? Anxiety, procrastination, or finding your focus? Let me know in the comments below, right now. Knowing your barrier is the first step to conquering it. If this video helped you feel seen and gave you a better plan, please hit the like button and subscribe. You can also share this with a friend who needs to hear that their brain is not the problem. Now go, study smart, not just hard. I'll see you in the next video.